Hello there, greetings everybody. I want to welcome you all here to the Prog Monster. So, my name is Murph. I am the host of this show. So, we're back with the Monday night look back at a classic rock album. I've got an album that I've had now for maybe about 3 years. It's kind of one of the last of the albums from this band. So, we're going to talk about this album, Led Zeppelin's Physical Graffiti, released in February the 24th, 1975. About 82 minutes, almost 83 minutes in length, so that's a long one. On the Swan Song label and produced by Jimmy Page. So basically, this album, my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that they put some material together, had about 8 songs that were totaling around 60 minutes or so. Maybe it was a little bit less, might have been like 55 minutes or so in music. So they decided to add 8 more. I don't know if they actually did. I don't think it was 8 more. I just want to see what I got here. I guess it probably could be 8 more songs. Yeah, it looks like it was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they had about... Oh yeah, I could have just looked on here easy. I don't know what I was thinking. So there's like 14 tracks on here. So I guess they had about 7 or 8 songs already, which were totaling a fair bit. So they said, well, we'll just make it a double album. And they added another, looks like another 7 tracks to it. So, yeah. So anyways, I don't know where this, I think when I rank the Led Zeppelin albums, you can go back and watch the ranking show if you want. I think this one was fairly high, but it was also at that time fairly new to me. So it hadn't had a lot of time with me. Had been on my playlist for 5 months, but that seems like a lot of time now. But back in the old days, in 5 months, I probably would have played this thing every day for 3 or 4 times a day for 5 months. It would have been over 1,000 times I listened to it, but those times are long past. There's too many albums to listen to one particular album for 5 months at a time. You wouldn't get very far that way. So anyways, we're here to talk about this album today. I guess I should get my notes ready here. So, I went too far back. Went back to the What's New episode a couple days ago. So anyways, again, about 15 tracks on here. Yeah, 15 tracks. I would say the first half of the album is very strong. Like side 1 is really strong. Side 2 has got its mixture of good and not so good. I wouldn't call, there's no real bad tracks on here except for maybe I guess, yeah, I don't even think I had that down as being somewhat bad. I didn't really like Night Flight. That's the one song I don't really like. The rest of them, they're all passable, but they could have, in my estimation, they probably could have cut this down to an album and just took out some of the stuff, but then you would have had to take off a couple of good songs too, so I kind of understand why they decided on a double album. It's a good album. I think it's probably higher on my list now than it was when I did the ranking a year or 2 ago. Now I'd probably put this in the top 3 or 4 for sure. But anyways, appearing on the album, of course, Jimmy Page on electric acoustic guitars, lap steel, and a slide guitar as well. Robert Plant, vocals and harmonica. John Bonham, drums and percussion. And of course, John Paul Jones on bass, keyboards, mandolin, and acoustic guitar. Sorry, I got these shitty ones. I left the good ones somewhere else. I'm not sure where they are. Anyways, Ian Stewart doing some piano on Boogie with Stu, and uncredited session musicians doing strings, horns on Kashmir. So, kind of break it down. So it's a bit of a different. Actually, I think it's a very similar Led Zeppelin album to their previous one. This one's a little bit more heavier and the sound is a little better on it. So there's a lot of that heavy stuff going on. There's also lots of catchy guitar, always on Zeppelin. That's the main thing I like about Zeppelin. The drums are heavy as always. You've got you get a little bit of country stuff going on here, some bluesy stuff, some progressive stuff. Like there's just everything. It's a nice mix of album, but it all sounds really good, and the guitar is the backbone of this album, as always. Okay, so it starts out with the track Custard's Pie, one of my favorite tracks on the album. Nice catchy riff, pretty heavy rocker, I think. And the vocals are strong and a little on that high-pitched screeching noise that he likes to do when he's really belting it out. The next song up is The Rover. I don't know if this is my favorite track on the album. It probably isn't, but it's definitely in the top 2 or 3. Just a real catchy, heavy drum part. Nice, slow, melodic guitar riff. You got some distinctive hooks on here. The guitar parts are very catchy. It's a catchy album. The second overlapping guitar is also catchy. A little bit, kind of a little bit over the top, the second guitar. The vocals are high end and very catchy again. A nice, slow, melodic, medium range solo. So it kind of drifts a bit, but is really catchy. The next track up is In the Time of Dying. A lot of people like this song a lot. I like it. It's not bad, but it's not a top 5 for me. It's a little bit too long, I think. It's got some nice heavy slide guitar in here, which is nice. Lots of distortion, lots of melodic. It's a very melodic, heavy track. It picks up as you go along, and the song becomes a little bit more heavier on the guitar part, and the solo becomes dominant. The drum fills are great. It's got a nice catchy part to it. The blues and vocals, they're strong as quite raw. The bluesy vocals are quite strong as well. These glasses are annoying the crap out of me. Where's my other ones? Yeah, those ones I usually use for the front room when I'm just reading. I don't care if they're hanging off my face. When I'm trying to do a video, I can't be having my glasses falling all over the place. Okay, so the next track out of the house is a song called Houses of the Holy. I'm suspecting that when this song was written, they had put out Houses of the Holy, and this was one of the tracks they probably left off, which is kind of weird since it's a title track of the album, but they put it on this album, which is even more weird. It's nice. This is a song I like quite a bit. It's a nice catchy riff, lots of hooks, nice beat. The drums are very heavy, as they are on most of these tracks. The vocals are a classic kind of Robert Plant sound to them, and it's a strong, catchy track with some nice soloing to it. Okay, so we're going to flip over here. Okay, so these tracks here, there's 2 more tracks on the opening album. So Trampled Underfoot, this is probably the weakest track on that first side. It's fast-paced, up-tempoed riff, hard rock track. Some interesting guitar parts on this, making some kind of strange noises, and the vocals are very forward and strong, but not one of the more memorable tracks. Next up is Kashmir, of course. Don't really need to say too much about this song. Arguably the best Led Zeppelin track ever released. I don't know if it is the best. I don't even know if it's my favorite, but it got a 9.5 here, so it's going to be up there in the top 3 or 4 anyways. I like that iconic riff and drum part at the beginning. The kind of Eastern sound to the song is really good. The vocals are clear. A perfect vocal part by Plant. This is one of the most perfect vocal parts on the album. Keyboards add that mystical feeling to the album, to this particular track, and the lyrics are good too. I like this song. Definitely one of the better songs. It's one of the longer songs too, at about 8.5 minutes. Next up, you're flipping over to side 2. You have In the Light. This is another track that I really like. This is a top 5 track on the album for me too. Probably the best track on this side of the album. The keyboards opening is quite mystical, almost haunting at times. Nice spacey feel through the track. Spacey synthesizer parts. The vocal part is a little bit eerie, a little bit haunting as well. It's got a nice heavy guitar part. About halfway through, it picks up and gets heavier. The vocals are more of a medium range, not really high end like he does on most of the song. This track is a little proggy like, I think, but it has a nice slow, catchy forward sounding guitar part. That's what I'm trying to say. Then you have Bonnier, just a short little track. I actually don't remember much about it and didn't even write anything down about it, so I'm not even going to say much about it. We'll just go on. Down by the Seaside, it's an okay track. You start getting into the little bit weaker tracks here. I don't mind this track though. I think it's a decent track. It's got a bit of a country feel to it, slow, melodic, country-ish feel, multi-vocaled, and pretty good. Lots of these kind of voices going on. They're not terribly clear sounding. I think that was actually intentional. Sounds like it might be. Keyboards played in that kind of country feel to them as well. It's a slow, there's a little bit of slide guitar, steel-like guitar here. Nice sound. Picks up tempo, and it's got like a multitude of multi guitar parts in it. It's pretty good. Not a bad track. Next up is 10 Years Gone. This is another decent track, maybe a little bit better than Down by the Seaside. Nice, slow, sad, melodic guitar part. The acoustic guitar is the part that we're talking about here. Then you get this kind of a beefy guitar part that comes in probably part way through the track. Poppy at times, heavy at times. Nice catchy riff. The vocals are very Robert Plant-like. They're not too high, not too low, but a little bit forced. I like that about his voice, especially when he's in that mid-range voice. When he's at the high end, he's almost screeching, but when he's in the mid-range, you can feel him almost forcing it out. Nice, slow, melodic solo parts, too. A good tune. Night Flight, not one of my favorite tracks. Probably one of my least favorite Zeppelin tracks. Definitely one of my least favorite on this album. Pretty stark track. The guitars are loud, high-end, noisy, I guess. Drums and the keyboards are a little bit more dominant here. It's a heavy track. I would say the vocals are kind of a yelling-like sound, like he's like screeching again. Maybe not even screeching, just yelling. The next track is the Wonton Song. This is maybe the last really strong track on the album. It's got a nice heavy catchy riff, heavy drum guitar part, really beefy. The vocals are very high. It's like he's really stretching to get it there. It's a catchy track. I like this one a lot. And then we have 3 tracks left. Boogie with Stu, a bit of an odd percussion sound to it with a kind of piano and country-ish sound. It's got a multi-high-end kind of vocal part. So it's a pretty good track as well. I don't mind it. Black Country Woman, not really crazy about this one. There's a little bit of voices going on. You got this acoustic part and a little piano thrown in there. The vocals are a little bit nasally. Not as a little bit more on the deep end. Not as smooth as some of the other tracks. Heavy drums. It's a bit busy. I think it's a bit busy. The Daughter. I would say it's just not something that I just don't really care as much for this track as some of the other ones. It does have that country flavor, but it's not the country kind of flavor that interests me. So I'll leave that one off. And then it ends with the Sick Again, which is the final track. Heavy, beefy, raw guitar sound here. Multi-guitar parts and very heavy, distorted parts as well. So there's a lot going on here. Again, the drums are beefy, which is normal for them. The vocals are pretty much the same as a lot of the others. Not terribly memorable track. So I would say the bottom, say three of the 5 bottom songs, not the best of Zeppelin stuff. But that's my take on Physical Graffiti from 1975. Is this Zeppelin's sixth? I think. No. Yeah, I think this is their sixth album. Yeah, I think it's their sixth album. Came out after Houses of the Holy. Yeah, so there's 6 studio album. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Look Back at a Classic Rock Album. Please hit the like and subscribe. If you want, you can leave your comments in the comment section. I like hearing the comments. Some of them I agree with, some of them I don't, but it opens the door for a little bit of discussion. Some people don't want a discussion, they just want to force feed you. Others, though, are okay with the discussion, talking about stuff. And I've had quite a few discussions with people over certain things. That's what it's all about. And sometimes you have to change your own perspective, too. So, anyways, I hope to see you all next Monday night for another look back at another classic rock album. So have yourself a good evening, and goodbye here from the Prog Monster.